to understand what's going on.
I think the angle
Here are the first steps.
It's basically like got some.
This vlog was quite a journey. You'll see from me filming this intro right now on my new computer to everything that happened in between my computer crashing at the same time as my whole body crashing. There was a lot, and you'll see I overlapped my whole journey from Vancouver all the way to Los Angeles on top of the footage of me talking. So if you're wondering what these images are, that's where they come from. And you'll see this episode also contains some art, me finalizing details from the pieces you saw in previous episodes, as well as behind the scenes of filming for my Blue Hour podcast in Los Angeles with very exciting guests. So let's jump right in.
I'm currently in Vancouver dog sitting this little puppy, and I wanted to share what I've been working on. So later today I'm going to have some prints made for selling prints of my new paintings.
Alright, made it. Here are the first tests. And those.
I pull this out here, give us a little bit more light. When I turn this off and on, it doesn't look like it's changing the canvas texture at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just go 320.
It's pretty magical. Huh? Interesting how things happen. I was just working on my email because I'm selling new prints now, and I spilled my matcha that's here right on my computer. So now I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. I put it upside down. There was so much liquid coming out of it. Most of it is cleaned up now, but now I have to go all the way downtown Vancouver, bring it to a technician that's gonna open it up. But it's funny how this happens on the full moon. You know, I was questioning yesterday what this transition is about for me, because there's always a moon eclipse and then there's a solar eclipse 2 weeks later. Usually they're connected and they bring change, a kind of cleanse renewal and then a new upgrade. And it feels it's something to do like, why is this breaking down right now on the full moon? So I think it's maybe just because I have to be less on my computer and more into the real present world. So I'm just back from having my computer fixed. I did a little tarot, very simple, 2 cards, just to know what's up with this event on the full moon. Got the Queen of Discs and the Princess of Wands. 2 feminine personality types. For me, they represent my anima. So it feels like this event happened so that I can connect more tangibly, more in the physical, to this feminine anima. But also, the thing is, I was supposed to start my painting today. I was just about finishing my matcha and I was going upstairs to start my painting, and then this happened, which delays like for at least 4 days the whole process, because I'm using my computer as reference and now I don't have it anymore. And tomorrow, the eclipse for me here is at 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I will be doing a ceremony in the daytime. So it's like all this happened because something will be revealed to me during this ceremony that I will need to have integrated or felt within me as I'm painting this painting. Like, this type of event never happens. I'm not like goofy or like, you know, spilling stuff all the time. When it did happen, I was not mad, I was not reacting, I was just like, oh, like I was instantly knowing that there was a key here. I'll keep you updated what comes out tomorrow. It's gonna be seems like a important day of clarity for me. Okay guys, I don't know where to start. It's maybe 5-6 days after the eclipse. No, 6 days. That's how it all started. My computer broke down and then I got the trigger in my mind to be like, okay, what's good? Something is definitely going on. And then the next day I had my ceremony where I had the most magical experience of all my life. For about 5 hours, I had some revelations. I had what seems like a Kundalini experience. And anyways, ever since that day, the next day I had a lot of energy, everything went well, and in the evening I started to feel sick and a lot of pain in my lower back. It was as if that Kundalini, for if you guys don't know, it is this vital energy that's in your spine. Energy rises from the root of your spine all the way to the top and to the pineal gland. And it was such a interesting experience, but there was, for 3 days, I was in pain in my body after because the energy was so intense. It's almost like the channel of the Kundalini connects all the dimensions of your existence. And if there's a blockage in a chakra, it'll blast through or get stuck. In my case, it felt like there was some resistance in the third chakra, and it created lots of pain. Like I could not sleep for 3 days and had lots of fever, and it was pretty intense. But then the difference with me before, it's almost like now I can, what they call the third eye, for me, what I've experienced it to be, in the vision I had when it actually awoke, was like a cobra awakening. And you know how the cobra's head is a bit wider, and almost like a cobra with eyes closed, and that would just kind of have an invisible glance at the third eye. And it's almost, the way I would describe it, it's like having an ally that has its eyes always open. It's like knowing that there's this snake ready to attack, and that's always looking out for you, even when your eyes are closed. And the metaphor is obviously the unconscious mind. It's the communication between both energies, my conscious mind and this unconscious force that is now awakened, is starting to create a dialogue. The effects of what I've experienced since then, dreams, so many insights on like my shadows, with my parents, with all the traumas I've had in my past, what they are connected to, and all the insights keep on coming, even through my dreams. Every day I have a different dream, and it's showing me one aspect of that shadow so that I can integrate it. So yeah, all this to say, this happened, I got sick, my laptop is still not fixed, so I could not work, and it's become obvious to me that this was not just random. The hard part, like you live it, it just happens automatically, but integrating it after is the real work. Everything is bringing me, like you remember in the second vlog, right before I started the painting of the temple from the last vlogs, my paintbrush caught fire. It forced me to not paint this whole day, then got all these insights, didn't paint the next day, and I faced one of my shadows, and it's almost like the goddess with which I'm working, and it is active in my mind, therefore in my reality. Every time I come to start a new painting, it's like, okay, you want to receive this deep wisdom from me? It has to be both ways. You have to give something away. And then I was very intentional with that, with the eclipse as well, the lunar eclipse, which is a banishing of old energies from your life, so that in the solar eclipse that's happening in a week, I think, so that you're ready to install the new software, but you have to desinstall the old one. This will be for the Vesica Pisces piece. So you can see this would be like the two sides of the door when they're closed, and this is the place where you would like open it from. It's two parts. One part is on one side is connected to one side of the door, the other, and it's basically the code for the mysteries of Saturn, which rules creation, which is very connected with the Vesica Pisces. I've found this to be a very interesting puzzle, and it has the key. So it's really like, to open it and see the mysteries of the Vesica Pisces, you really have to decipher this to understand what's going on here. So this is a very quick update, because that ceremony that day was really giving me insights on my role with Rose Umbra, activating lots of my gifts, telling me how to use the pressure, the ringing in my ears to rebalance my mind when I hear the ringing, so that I can create the central channel to receive guidance. I won't be sharing everything. I think I need to digest it, and some of the stuff is very personal. So here are some updates on the Vesica Pisces project. I just got some very interesting insights about how to make it, so I'm just drawing it out. So here you go. So as you can see, this has changed. Instead of being like a plus sign, meaning like the positive side of life, and this just being invisible, like the negative space, I'm gonna be painting. This is a holograph of a photon. So basically for me, this is the symbol of God, which God is light. So this will be here instead of the plus sign. This is what I showed you earlier, this thing. The key to understanding the divine feminine. And then all these flowers. When I was in Costa Rica for a residency years ago, I had a very deep connection with this flower. It's a hermaphrodite flower, so that can recreate itself alone. And I thought it would be a beautiful symbol of how when these two energies unite within the self, how you can yourself become a creator without needing anything external to you. So I'm going to be drawing these flowers on the, when the doors are closed, it's going to be on the surface, this big tapestry of flowers. So I had taken an image when I was in Costa Rica, this one. I had tried overlapping so that you can see like what it would look like, but I think it's gonna be too dark. So instead I'm gonna probably keep like this, maybe even like rough wood, and just paint all these little flowers so that the contrast between what's behind is gonna be more obvious, and the polarity of light and dark also. And then the polarity then also of space versus earth, the mind versus the body. So how the outer is like the physical universe when it's closed, and you open it up and then you access the divine truth, the stars and the cosmos. Right now I'm setting up. I'm gonna be doing a test to see if I had an idea come to me of how to apply the paint on the mirror so that it has a very cool iridescent effect. And instead of layering it like I usually do, start with like a wet background and then apply and mix wet on wet and have the image emerge from the void, the darkness. So I want to do a test first before doing it on the big piece. That's what I'll be doing. So I just got my prints done, all of the beautiful prints, and now I'm just wrapping them up, ready to ship. And I have these big format ones too. That I'm excited about this. This one is pretty exciting because it's the actual size of the painting. It's like a one-on-one. This one.
The weirdest thing is happening. So you saw my computer got destroyed by Matcha. They told me a date. I went there last Friday to go pick it up after a lot of delays.
I arrive there, no one's there, it's supposed to be open. I wait for 25 minutes until they actually unlock the doors. I get in, type my password to try my computer, it opens up, it loads, shuts down. Try again, loads, shuts down. I did that like 10 times. And after a while they were just like, okay, well, leave us your password. We're gonna do more tests. And then come back on Monday. Today is Monday. I emailed them just because they don't like by phone because they want to track stuff. I'm like, hey, it's Monday. I have no news from you guys. It's ready or not? They say, oh no, it's not ready. Like, we detected another problem. And then they give me more delays, 2 to 3 days again. And it might be like overall now, I think we're between $600 and $1,000, the price of a, entry-level computer just for repairs. So now I'm just in the mindset of like, because I'm working from this, I'm using my reference images to paint. Like, I can't do anything. I've basically been sitting down and reading like for the past 7-10 days and being sick. It does feel like with the experience I've had on the lunar eclipse, where this kind of Kundalini energy was awakened within me. And now it feels like it's forcing me to connect and use this dialogue with this energy more to have an effect in the world, instead of focusing on, tangibly typing stuff, posting stuff, to actually use the unconscious realms, the astral realm, to have influence. And as Saturn is moving, also it's my birthday in 2 days, then we have an eclipse, and then all the planets are moving into Pisces. Saturn has been in Aquarius for 2.5 years, and that's when I started Rosenbra. That's when I took a leap of faith and moved across the world, sold everything I owned, and to this day I'm still like traveling with almost nothing, no personal items, and now it feels like now it's going in my house of Dharma, my house of career. Before I was finding out what my purpose is, and now it's like actually doing the work. I'm gonna take the advantage of this time to create a space for this solar eclipse that's coming in 3 days and jump right in. Today is my birthday, so every time the sun comes back around at this time of the year, I really love to create something intentional and meaningful for my new year. And this year, it feels like the magic of the tortoise that was revealed to me at the eclipse really is how I want to live my life, in this energy. So I'm gonna be doing this little talisman based off the sacred geometry on the shell of the turtle, which is linked with the divine feminine mysteries. And then going to Whistler for an adventure that is unplanned. Just as the turtles are the most peaceful travelers, and they don't fear anything. They just attract whatever they need and flow through the waters, knowing that they have all the mysteries of the feminine rights and stuff on their back, so they don't have to worry. They work with the divine feminine. And crazy enough, that's also how I planned my birthday. It's the most beautiful day of the year since January, and I decided to let the divine feminine choose the weather for me so that I can do something cool and meaningful for my birthday. And I woke up to this beautiful sunshine. So as you can see around all of those, these are 28 kind of half circles. They represent the actual lunar cycle of 28 days. That's why the month is called a moonth, like with the moon follows the moon cycle. And then in the center, that's the number of moonth. So there's 10 on the outside and then 3. So 13 times 28 equals 364, and then the last day would be like the rest day. That's how the lunar cycle would used to work. So I'm just trying to figure it out. It's almost like here with my other project with the Vesica Pisces. It's the 1 that becomes the 3, the Holy Trinity, and through the womb creates the 10. So lots of mysteries are encoded just in this little shell, turtle shell, that I'm gonna paint now. As you can see, it's not really about beauty in the end. Really, like, what I've come to notice is that when you balance your masculine and your feminine within yourself, what happens is creation. And creation becomes the third component of this balance, the created. And when you use this faculty of creation, it programs both your conscious and subconscious mind. And as you might know, like, manifestation happens when both those ideas that are planted in the subconscious and in the conscious mind are the same frequency. So by painting this and just meaningful, like putting these meaningful colors that are representing the goddess Nut on my birthday, it's like I'm planting the seed of what I want to see grow this year. And this golden stars become the representation of my soul, of my higher guardian angel, of my solar self that is guiding me through those mysteries. When they are united, are the most powerful, because you get the divine wisdom and insights. So this is really my intention for my year to come, and this becomes just a little talisman I can carry with me that will be the seed of that thought that I'm wanting to plant. And I just wrote this on the back as a reminder. Okay guys, I can't make this up. The repair store I brought my computer to just emailed me. I don't know if you'll be able to see. I might be upside down. Anyways, it says basically that they found that there's another problem, delays on that. I can have an update on Saturday. They're closed Sunday and Monday. I'm leaving for Los Angeles, and the eclipse is on Saturday. So that's pretty crazy that the moment after the first lunar eclipse, I lose everything, and then it just keeps delayed. So to make sure that I'm like here doing nothing except reading, it's crazy. So today is the solar eclipse. And it might sound super weird, but I'm realizing that almost the story of my computer breaking down seems to be really a metaphor of the eclipse for me. Almost like me getting sick was at the same time my computer getting sick and breaking down, so that it can get repaired and install new software. But I feel like today all those insights were pushing me to install my own inner software. So we made it to the USA. This is our first real stop, Haystack Rock, and this is Cannon Beach. Pretty incredible views you got here. Look at this. We made it through the US-Canada border. It was very, very weird actually. Felt like being trapped. We got stuck there for an hour. It felt like being trapped in between an invisible war. And we both, when we crossed, felt so exhausted for no reason. But hey, we're here now. And this is our first stop in Oregon. It's quite beautiful. Let me zoom in, show you how huge this is. So I'm really inspired by this structure here. I can imagine as I'm seeing it that there is all those kind of caverns and maybe structures, temples on top or something. And when I had this feeling in the past, in this structure in Spain, it ended up becoming my painting Vision of Ecstasy. I have a feeling that I had to take a picture with my high resolution pixel count so that I can then make a high quality kind of render with painting after. But I think the angle was better in that corner over there. So that angle here is the one I saw earlier that inspired me. Because from here, you see there's like a black kind of shadow in the center, and it looks almost like an entrance. And that's the type of mystery that I'm looking for. And not even I'm looking for, but that when I see, it resonates something in me. Almost like a potential that needs to be understood. It invokes the creative side in me. So today is day 26 of me spilling matcha on my computer and still not having my computer fixed.
I'm now in California. I just brought it to get fixed yesterday. It's very synchronistic that all of this is happening right now, forcing me to be still. Like, I basically have nothing to do other than read, think, meditate, and just explore wherever I am. So I'm now at Santa Monica Beach in California, as you can see. And yeah, it feels like nothing is moving in my Rose Umbrella project much. I mean, I'm still gonna post a podcast soon, but in my inner world seems like a lot has been moving. Even some almost physical pain that seems to come from psychosomatic releases. I'm gonna be filming a podcast with a few of people I really admire here, so I'm excited for that. Magicians, and in New York as well, I'm gonna be having a podcast with Brian Cote-Noir, which is an author who writes extensively, is very well known for his work on alchemy of color, amongst other things. So yeah, that's coming in a few weeks, going to New York myself, so I'll keep you updated. So this is the second place I was very excited to see. It's the Philosophical Society. They have a bookstore and all these occult books and texts and events. And we're gonna go in and see what's up. It's all from the Manly P. Hall heritage.
You can go ahead and give me a try.
So this was the original book I read that initiated me to the mysteries. Manly P. Hall's Secret Teachings, but that's the original one. Mine was the small version. But I read through all this encyclopedia page by page. It's basically like all of the topics of the occult, esoteric, wisdom, elements, ceremonial, just to get like an overview of all the topics, all the genres in the occult. But this one has such beautiful imagery. It's a dream. So Manly P. He died in 1991, but he used to have his lectures in this exact building. And all of his talks are recorded in this exact room. And you can have all of his talks available on Apple Music and Spotify, I think. I've listened to at least 50 of them. Got some artwork. It smells like very old in here. Like a million perfumes mixed together over 100 years. This is the library. I wish I could go see all of his personal books archived here, but it's closed today, unfortunately. Guarded. So here, attached to that Philosophical Society, there's a little art gallery. And this artist apparently has been making this art kind of in private silence for the past 50 years. She's never exhibited before. This is her first show. It has very Hilma af Klint type vibes, but with her own unique flavor. Very intriguing. So I just made it to the podcast location where we're gonna film. It's a huge property on the end of a street in the mountains. It has multiple features and domes, I guess for ceremony or retreats. And I'm just trying to figure out where we will be filming the podcast. I think I found it earlier. I forgot my camera, but I was looking at the first dome. Pretty cool inside. Might miss a bit of, this is the house up there. Yeah, it might lack a little bit of light, but maybe there's electricity in it. That's the dome I don't have access to, unfortunately. I'll just bring you to this one because it's so cool. And here it is. And look at that. Rock, bed, crystals. Stained glass. But the other one is even more meaningful if you followed the vlogs when I was in Hawaii, and then my mystical experience a few
few weeks ago during the eclipse, all about turtles. And in that, the one we're actually gonna film in, there's 2 pillars that are on some tortoises, big turtles. This is it here. So. Look at this. It's just a bit dark, but we'll make it work. So I've just set up the podcast area. So beautiful. I might put this light on too. I'm actually waiting for my guest, but look at this. For now, it's not needed though. Oh. Okay guys, I think we're day maybe like 60 and me not having a computer. I drove to LA as you saw. Now I brought my computer. The first day I was here to a repair place. They were like, okay, we're gonna do it. Gave me an estimation. I was like, fine. And then couldn't do it. My computer was cursed, but I think by the planet Saturn in my chart. So now I'm like, okay, can you do anything? Extract the data at least. They're like, yeah, we can do that. It's gonna be $75 US dollars. I'm like, okay, fine, do it. Another issue, they don't have a hard drive. I have to bring my hard drive back and forth. It's been a very, annoying thing. Then they called me back 2 or 3 days later. I'm in Disney with my family, Disneyland. They're like, oh, well, it took more time, so instead of 75, it's gonna be $150. We can do it if you want. I think we can successfully do it. Argument, because I don't think that's fair to just last minute call just because you didn't estimate well and double the price. But hey, I'm doing it. I have to get this over with. So I'm going to get my computer now, and then I'm going to Best Buy, buying a new computer. So really getting this story over with. But in the end, I've had to reflect a lot on why this is happening, like through tarot, through my Vedic astrology chart, try to gain insight into why this is happening. And it kind of syncs well with my sub-dasha, my sub-cycle. I'm in my solar dasha, the main one, and then a sub-cycle that just turned into the Jupiter sub-cycle. This is a cycle of expansion and outwardly growing. And compared to Saturn, which kind of is a more conservative energy that makes you kind of keep the money, save up money, and it's a more scarcity mindset, it's kind of forcing me to change my attitude towards these things. And naturally, like, my computer was worth $3,000, It's a big thing to just let go of having it repaired, but like after 2 places telling me it's impossible, and it costs like $1,500 to change the whole thing. I would have lost my data and everything. So now I'm just like trying to install a new software of like, okay, expansion. Yes, it costs a lot of money, but you're actually circulating your vital energy at the same time as you're doing that. It's a kind of an energetic thing more than like just tangible money. So yeah, going to buy a new computer, basically. Everything is for me to let go of material things and focus on what I can give instead of what I can receive, in a way. So I'm here. This is the computer palace. And I guess this ends, hopefully, this saga. And now I'll be able to actually work on my stuff, start painting again. And I'll have my data if I have no bad surprise here. So as you can imagine from seeing this last part, I did get my computer since I'm editing this video. And now that's how the episode ends. I'm finally, able to start working again. But more than that, I feel like I'm empowered for the next step in my life, which seems to be really an upgrade. You're going to see in the season 3 of the Blue Hour podcast, it really seems like it's becoming something more real, more official. I don't know how to explain it. But I'm also going in a few days to New York City for art residency, and I will also be filming a few vlogs there. So There are a few podcasts there, so I'll be vlogging that as well for the next episode. So thanks for watching if you watched all the way through, and lots of love and light to all of you guys.